Welcome back to our module about building entrepreneurial resilience. Let's start to be familiar with entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has been studied from different perspectives, such as psychology, sociology, economic. Despite the diverse approaches used in studying entrepreneurship, researchers widely agree on one definition of entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? This definition is introduced by Shane and Venkataraman in 2000. They have defined the field of entrepreneurship as a scholarly examination of how, by whom, and with what effects opportunities to create future goods and services are discovered, evaluated, and exploited. In a simple definition, we could say that entrepreneurship is a process of designing a new business, such as a startup company, and its objective is to offer a new product, process, or service. Entrepreneurship is not only about discovering, evaluating, and exploiting, but also creating new opportunities and possibilities. The main part of entrepreneurship process is an entrepreneur. So, we should know who the entrepreneur is. Schumpeter, in his early work, introduced the term entrepreneur spirit to describe the agent who drives the creative destruction or the changes in the environment or economic development, which arise from the destruction of old economies. An entrepreneur is a person who is willing and able to convert a new idea or invention into a successful innovation. He or she is more willing to accept uncertainty in a situation when economic decisions need to be made, and the outcome depends on the responses of other parties involved. As an entrepreneur, when you start a new venture, you will meet different crises in terms of leadership, financial, or market, and lack of experience can put you in trouble. So, in these sort of situations, we should be equipped with the special skills, which are nothing else but resilience and self-efficacy. What is the meaning of resilience? Resilience is the ability to see the reality and the propensity to make meaning out of terrible times. The term resilience is used in a wide variety of fields that include ecology, individual and organizational psychology, supply chain management, strategic management, and safety engineering. Although the context of the term may change across all of these fields, the concept of resilience is closely related with the capability and ability of an element to return to a stable state after a disruption. When the notion of resilience is applied to the organizations, this definition does not drastically change. Resilience is therefore related to both the individual and organizational responses to the discontinuities. This concept not only plays an important role in our lives, but also in the business world. But here the question is whether self-efficacy and resilience really matters or not. As an entrepreneur, should we really know about it? Diana Cotto answered clearly to this question in her article. She said yes. More than education, more than experience, more than training, a person's level of resilience will determine who succeeds or who fails. History of studying about resilience has been started about 40 years ago by Norman Garmezi. He observed that many children from schizophrenic parents did not psychologically suffer from their illness as a result of growing up with them. So, he concluded that resilience plays an important role in these responses. In the business world, an understanding of resilience individuals provide a useful starting place for defining resilient organizations. Actions and interactions among individuals in an organization leads to the emergence of a firm's collective capacity for resilience. Two researchers identified 4 factors that resilient individuals exhibit. 1. Problem-solving abilities. 2. Favorable perceptions. 3. Positive reinforcement. And 4. A strong faith. Their findings show that resilience is a capability that you can learn and develop. In an organization, a capacity for resilience is more about a firm's ability to determine an appropriate strategy and actions to effectively reconfigure a firm's resources. Organizational resilience is defined as a firm's ability to effectively absorb, develop situation-specific responses to, and ultimately engage in transformative activities to capitalize on disruptive surprises that potentially threaten organizational survival. Let's see what are resilience dimensions. It becomes evident that resilience cannot be targeted in itself. The strategic use of the concept will depend on whether, at the time of examination, resilience is a more or less desirable system characteristic. For example, underperforming or vulnerable organizations and their stakeholders benefit by entering a phase of change in a regime rather than maintaining their current functional state. When assessing organizational resilience, two critical dimensions should be considered. The magnitude dimension, which refers to the level of a system resilience, and the desirability dimension, which refers to the level of desirability of system state. Transience quadrant. Systems in the transience quadrant experience a highly uncertain future. So we can consider new ventures or startups in this category. They commonly undergo structural or procedural changes in an effort to adapt to external disturbances. There is a distinction here between systems that are flexible and adaptable to external disturbances and therefore have high level of resilience and system in this quadrant. Although very flexible, transient systems are highly unstable and may either achieve adaptation or may fail to adapt. In the case of failure, the system may reach complete destruction or may transfer to a system of lesser productivity. Companies in their early life cycle commonly pass through this quadrant as they haven't yet achieved high level of stakeholder satisfaction nor resilience. Also, companies that go through substantial reorganization and restructuring may pass through this stage for longer or shorter periods of time, depending on the ability of the change process to minimize risk of failure and maintain a level of resilience. Here, we focus on how we can build resilience. Self-efficacy and resilience play an important role in motivating people who face challenging times in entrepreneurial activities. Business leaders and aspiring entrepreneurs must strengthen their entrepreneurial self-efficacy and resilience to persevere through the work crisis. So, to improve entrepreneurial resilience, some few actionable steps has been identified. As an entrepreneur, you should seek activities targeted at developing self-efficacy. You can benefit from business development training to boost self-efficacy and resilience. Entrepreneurs who are educated in business-oriented fields possess a strong confidence in their working abilities. Entrepreneurship education also can help you to improve your confidence to engage in entrepreneurial activities. Another way to build self-efficacy and encourage business development is through mentoring and paying attention to the stories with other entrepreneurs who have succeeded in down times. You can participate in entrepreneurial activity and receive feedback from your colleagues and mentors to improve resilience in yourself. If you want to solve your problems with a bright mind, you need to learn more new things. Mentoring and peer-to-peer coaching are excellent ways to help you to achieve your goal. Try to develop your networks, meet new people, and start interesting conversation with them. These activities can help you in approaching new strategies while you meet with crisis. Also, you can find people with skills different from yours, so you have something to offer each other. Be honest and be open to criticism and suggestion. Keep the topics of discussion broad. You never know what you can learn. Be flexible with how you interact with one another. Maintain a mutually beneficial relationship. Be willing to broaden your network by introducing your mentor or mentee to others. I hope now you have gotten introduced with the concepts of entrepreneurship, resilience, and how we can build it as an entrepreneur. I hope you enjoyed this module, and I've shared some of the academic resources that I've used to design these sessions.